Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to African Brand Academy podcast, your number one African podcast on brand development and digital transformation, giving you insight and effective strategies to grow, scale, and promote your brand. Here are your hosts, Sharon Alfred.
Hello, good day, and welcome to another episode on the African Run Academy podcast. I'll be talking with the seven figure chick. Chill, don't be chilled yet. Before you get your seven figures, there are some things you have to do to get to that level of income, and one of those things is how to get your dream clients, the type that makes running a business worthwhile for you. So, for those who don't know, Amarachi, also known as the seven figure chick, she's a serial entrepreneur, an author, business analyst, and coach with over 12 years of business experience in running multiple business, a graduate of Governor University. We'll come back to the CU part. Well, she's the founder of Seven Figure Chic Academy and the podcast host of Seven Figure Chic Podcast, dedicated to helping business owners start up and scale their businesses. She also offers personal one-on-one coaching for entrepreneurs and creatives. So please let's welcome Amara. Amara, good day. How are you doing?
Hi Sharon, good day. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be talking today on how you can get your dream clients for your business. And I want Amara to give us some of her best customer acquisition strategy that you can implement from today. So make sure you're tuned in to the end for all the juice. Well, Amara, I've been needing to have this conversation with you, but before that, I'm curious to know how did you become the seven figure chick and what are some milestones that you're proud of?
Oh, okay. So seven figure chick was just a vision I had in my head, and I've had it for years, but I actually didn't know how to bring it into life. So it was kind of scattered in my head. So I initially started a brand called Twist Branding, and we do branding for businesses. We create websites. So it's more of a digital support for business, right? So you could do your
Okay.
logos, business cards, and all that stuff. But on the same page, I was also teaching. I just found myself wanting to teach business people since I was trying to attract them. So I really just wanted to teach them what I do to make myself successful in my businesses. So that's where it
Okay.
started from. I would record videos, I would go live once in a while, but there was just something missing. There was just something missing until one day there was someone I was following on Instagram, and I just saw a comment somewhere where she said I wish us business owners could have our own community where we just understand what's going on. When you say something is relatable to the other person, so I was just like, that's it.
Okay.
That's what I've always wanted to do. And I was like, that's it. That's my vision. And it just sounds
Wow.
better hearing it. So I was like, that's it. So the same day, I think I opened the page and I just let people know that, okay, this was happening. Then I probably launched maybe a week after that because I had to craft my own business plan and know, okay, the pillars of the business and what I wanted to offer and bring. And as soon as I started that page, I would say it went viral in my own world because so many people just went for it. Like people really, really loved what the brand was about because it was more about sharing knowledge and just helping business owners grow. And for the first one
Okay.
year, I wasn't even interested in monetizing it. So it was just back to back content on what you can do to grow your business, practical steps you can take right now. So that's how that brand came about. And then everyone just kind of tagged me the seven figure chick. And I chose seven
Wow.
because I feel like in this country, in Nigeria, you cannot brand yourself. Not even branding yourself. It's just you cannot when you're making six figures, you're just all right. Because six figures could be 100K. And 100K
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
enough.
It's
You
not
get
enough.
me? Yeah, it's not enough.
Okay.
Your business expenses is probably in six figures. So you want to be making seven figures to make sure that yeah, you can take care of the business and the business can also take care of you. And I'd already gotten to that point in my own businesses. So it didn't make sense to even think about six figures. So that's where seven came from. And probably one day we'll change it to eight figures or create an eight-figure brand out of it.
Amen. Amen to
So
that.
amen. Soon as I get there, you guys will get the update that the whole thing is changing to eight figures now.
As anyone that earning dollars, probably someone from New York or like Canada come to you and be like thinking that you can get them seven figures in dollars. Have someone come to your DM with that kind of offer.
Yeah, actually, but
Yeah.
most of the time, when I don't know if maybe they just figured because this brand is established in Africa. So, but most of the time when people like that, like I have international um prospective clients, people who also follow the page from other countries. I didn't actually know until they started DMing me for help, and most of the time they're always talking about six figures. So they're like, okay, so I just want to build my business up to six figures. They usually don't say seven. I don't know, for some
Okay.
reason. So they're like, okay, I see like you do this, building up to seven figures. I feel like I mean, I would earn up to six figures. Yeah. So I've never really had it. That'd be really challenging for me to teach someone. But it's actually not challenging because it's the same steps. Like business is business, regardless of the global
Mm, mm,
location. Business is business.
yeah.
Like if you use the same strategies, you can make seven figures here and seven figures there, to be honest.
All right. What did you study in Covenant?
I studied business administration.
Ah, you're still in line now. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me about how you got your first million and some habits or things that have helped you to get there?
I'm not even going to pretend and say, oh, this is my routine. I don't have a healthy routine. I wish I did, but I really don't. And I want to be real and as practical as possible. I'm not an influencer, so I'm not trying to tell you this. I mean, I have posted some routines on the page but I've always said that this is not my idea. Like, I found this online. Would you be willing to try it out? I've created content on things like that, but as to my routine, I can't say I have a routine. I'm just winging it. And if you speak to the best entrepreneurs out there, they'll tell you the same thing. Everyone is actually just winging it because when you're looking at it from a distance, it seems like this person always has it figured out. No one has
Mm.
everything figured out. You just try to create a structure in place, a system that can help you make more. Like I was in a meeting
Yeah, is
today.
that system I'm trying to understand? Like, was there a system in place for you to get to that seven figures? Or like when I mean habits, I don't mean like daily habits. Yeah, daily too. But like
Okay.
were you trying to get to customers every day, like doing some sales call? Were you trying to engage your community? Like what was it like getting that your first million? What was it like? Or how did or did you just come there by chance? Like you go, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say ask.
I would not say it came by chance. It was definitely hard work, but there was definitely a system in place. And when I don't think I actually marked it mentally when I made my first million. In my head, I just, like, if you
Okay.
ask me right now and you rack my brain on my behalf, I just feel like I've always made seven figures. And there's a point where I just did that and it was just normal. So it was later on, like me
Mm.
chatting with my friends, and then people like, I remember when I made my first million. I'm like, wait, I actually don't remember that. I just remember always having making
That
always having
yeah.
made millions. Yeah. So I would say the system that I put in place was, first of all, so like I love to play a numbers game. And I'm not saying this to maybe talk down on anyone that loves to overprice. Let me not call it overprice, but charge high for their services and their products. So for me,
Mm.
maybe it's the evil girl in me. I love to play a numbers game. So what I do is, first of all, so there's nothing, you can't do anything without having a goal in mind. And a goal is not just writing it down on a sheet of paper, okay? Like, a goal is something you have to put in front of yourself every day. So here's what I do actually with my goals. I have this little cards. I got them from
Okay.
church. They're supposed to be for Bible verses, but what I do is take one. So they're like empty. You can scribble on them, right? So I take one for each goal and I write what I want. I don't write it first of all in the future tense, like I will make money or I will do this. I write it like it's already done. That's the first thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So I could write, okay, I achieved having 2 millionaire in my account that is 100% my own. That is after you've
Okay.
minused your cost price and whatever. I'll write that
Yeah.
down and say, I accomplished having this amount in my account by so and so date. So, because the reason why I feel like you should put a timeline on it is because even if you're not able to achieve that exact amount, you get pretty close. That's the fact. Because you give your brain a constraint to work with. Like something I've said on the page before, if you're trying to get money, you can't just put it out there without a timeline, because what happens is when something happens to someone you love and you need to come up with a certain amount of cash, do you understand how Or do you realize how easier it is for you to find that money? On a normal day,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't just find 50K. But then when it's like a matter of life or death or something really serious,
Mm,
like you're going to kick you out of your apartment, you use every method possible to get that cash because you don't want to be out in the streets. So that's what happens when you
yeah.
set your goal with a timeline, right? So I
Mm,
write a date there. So first things first is to just have a goal. So what I do with my goal now, if I say I'm gonna make 2 million, I'm gonna say, okay, if I'm gonna make 2 million in profits at maybe the end of 30 days or 60 days, whatever you believe you are capable of doing, what I'm gonna do
mm,
is divide that into, so let's say I have a product that is that I can make 20K off of, right?
okay.
What I'm gonna
Yeah.
do is divide 2 million by 20,000 naira and say, okay,
Okay.
that means I only have to sell this product to 100 people. I'm going to
Mm,
set milestones for myself to say, okay, here's the thing. When I hit let's say when I hit 25 people, I've accomplished 1/4, like a quarter of that goal. When I
yeah.
hit 50 people, I've accomplished half of the goal. Now it's very easy to get excited because when you set these things and you set your mind to work, you realize how quickly you can get this thing done. And what happens, here's a pitfall, you get so amazed that you actually begin to feel relaxed, like, oh wow, I actually did it too, and then you get carried away, and before you know, you
Yeah.
don't ever hit 75 people mark to make it
Mm,
75% done. Do you get my point? So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what you do is keep your goal. That's why. So like I was trying to say, with those cards, I carry them with me every day. They're always in my bag. They're always
Mm,
with me. I keep it under my pillow. So if I want to go to bed, my cards are under my pillow. I'm gonna read. It's the last thing I read. Like, or I go through it just before I doze off. I try my best to do that to do that every single night. So I go through it, I read it, and you remember, like, we're writing it in past tense. Like, we've already done this. It's not something that we're
okay. You're not
trying to
even
do.
writing it in present. You're writing it in past.
In past tense, yes. So it's
Wow.
like a subconscious mind trick. Yeah, like I achieved 2 million in my account by the 31st of December. I achieved X amount or whatever it is. It could be I got a house. I moved
Wow.
out of my parents' house to this place. So it's just something that I do, right?
Oh, I've always heard of the present tense, not the past. So I'm shocked.
Oh no, I always write it in the past because what do you want to say? I am making two
Yeah, I
million.
am.
That
I got. Yeah.
that gives your mind something. It gives your mind too many things to work with. Like, are you making it? Because that creates room for doubt. Your ego
Mm,
mind is gonna be like, you're not. And then you,
mm,
if you're weak mentally, might begin to be, actually, realistically, I'm not, but I will be there. You see, that's the pitfall. Now you're thinking in future tense automatically.
okay.
But when you write it in the past, you're beginning to think, like, you feel it. You almost, it's like tricking yourself into imagining that it already happened, right? There's an
Mm,
emotion that comes with it. That emotion gets you, like, a little bit excited. All of your cells come alive. You feel it. It could be for like a second, but once you've done that, once you felt
wow.
that emotion, that's it. That's really it,
Wow.
because it gives your mind, your subconscious mind, something to work with. Because honestly, everything is deep within you, right? And like what I would tell anyone that is trying to build a seven-figure business or like make a million, don't just do anything that you think is popular right now or is making waves right now. Always just start with your passion. Always just start with your passion, because your passion is the compass that's going to lead you to where you need to be. So if you're doing something just because someone else is doing it and it looks prosperous, like, there's so many things that are going on right now that are really good, like fintech is hot right now, Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies, they're really hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to dive into it because, one, I do not even have a passion for digital currency. I'm not really inclined to want to go into that. So I could do it for savings, but not as a business, if you get my drift.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
always have to start with your passion and then maintain a positive mental attitude, because the business can only be as healthy as you are as a person. Like, what I always say is, your business is only going to enhance, or let's say amplify, that's make more visible the things you already are, like what you think about yourself. If you feel like,
Mm,
oh, I'm not smart. Ah, other people have more luck than me. When you go into business, you realize that everyone else is selling but you. It's not because your business actually can't be good. It's actually because um it's because of your mindset. So if your mindset, if
Mm.
you're not approaching your business with a positive mental mindset, trust me, it's
Yeah.
going to show in your business. If you have a bad attitude, it's going to show in your business. Whatever it is, your business only amplifies what's already there, right? So have a positive mental mindset and have passion. And then I would say, here's a mistake I made after I made maybe my first or second or third million. I don't even know. I wasn't keeping count, but I know I made a lot of money. And I actually I actually stumbled upon my financial records from maybe 2018, 2019, and I was seeing I was sharing
Okay.
it with my best friend because she was at my house, and I was like, oh my god, damn, like I used to make a lot of money because it was a book record of like the sales we'll make in a day, and I was selling like every single day, and I'm telling you, maybe like 60K 4 or 5 times a day, 70K, a
What?
hundred, a few 100K plus. I swear to God, like even I don't believe it. Like if it wasn't my own handwriting, I wouldn't have believed that that was my business. But here's the thing I did wrong. I didn't save. So that leads me to my next point, like in terms of what routine should you have, or what should you
Okay.
do when you're making money. Just know
Mm.
how to budget and have financial scrutiny. Like don't spend too
Mm.
much. Make sure
Mm.
to
That's something.
save. Yeah, because there are glory days and there are regular days. On your glory days, don't let it get to your head. I know, like, you've probably heard motivational speakers say these things, but trust me, like, I'm speaking from experience, because then I realize now that I'm older that what I used to do then was just tell my friends, you know what, like, we're going out tonight, bills on me. Like, I'm spending money left, right, center. I never saved, never for a minute, because and I was
Mm.
never scared of anything like, oh, rent. And when rent is due, the money will always be there. I didn't have to save because the business was, it is, let me not say it was, God forbid. But like back then, my business
It
was
was
literally,
popping.
or is still was,
Yeah.
whatever, literally really good. Do you get my point?
Mm.
So make sure to save. Like you don't know when you're gonna have an emergency. It could be
Yeah.
anything. Sorry, you want to say something?
No, I'm pumped because I had this conversation last week with Money Talk with Ife, and this is exactly what she was talking about. We were talking about budgeting and how to do financial planning for businesses, and then you're just like saying the whole thing again. I'm like, damn, you guys should really listen to this one because like this one is strong. So like,
Honestly
I love the
speaking,
fact that this is happening again. So if you need to know how to budget and set your financial goals, go back to the last episode.
okay. So just make sure to save and to reinvest into your business. You can reinvest in courses. You might feel like, oh, I'm not making enough money to reinvest, but you can reinvest into a course that can help you boost your business knowledge. If maybe you never studied business in school, you can probably like pay for some business course. Like we have courses on Seven Figure Chick. You can get that. You can
Mm.
get courses anywhere. They're free courses on the internet, but reinvest into something. It could be maybe an equipment that will make your craft better, but make sure you save money
Yeah.
to reinvest every single month. I would even say have a
Mm.
figure. Just say, okay, every month I'm going to make sure I always have 500,000 to reinvest back into my business, or 400K to reinvest back into my business. And then I would
All right.
say the last thing that should be in your routine, in your journey towards being a millionaire and making more money than you can ever imagine, is to dream big and never stop, or you would build a ceiling above your head, and that ceiling is going to be really hard to break because you built it yourself. And you would always keep
Mm.
pointing fingers to circumstances around you, like, oh, it's just the Nigerian economy, or oh, it's a spiritual problem, but you built the ceiling. And because you don't know that you put the ceiling over your head, you can
Yeah.
never get it off. Do you get? So don't
Mm.
get too comfortable, because today's
Mm.
success is still in tomorrow's world. Like you can make a million now, it's not gonna matter tomorrow. Did you make a million today?
Yeah.
Just like how pidgin English, this pidgin English slang says, I get on before, no be property. You got to have the
You
money now.
will.
Like you used to make
Yeah.
money last year, but how about this year? What did you do
What
this
about
year?
this year?
So
Mm.
dream bigger dreams. Like you make a million, set your next goal to be
Mm.
2 million. The goal after that should be
Mm.
5 million. Just keep dreaming big and never ever stop, because that even happened to me one time. Like after I'd made all the money that I saw in my financial record, like my book record, I feel like I was very complacent. I just feel
Mm.
like I had everything. And I wasn't dreaming big, like, oh, okay, I need to open another branch. Or, because if I was having those dreams then, I had the money to have already foot the bill because the money was available.
Yeah.
Now, the economy is a little bit stiff. So you have to work maybe 2 or 3 times as hard. It's not your fault. It's just that there's not enough money in circulation. So you got to do way more to
Mm.
convince people to spend the hard and limited cash on your business. You get me? So
Mm.
when the
Mm.
economy is better
Mm.
and there's more money in circulation, then definitely people it's easier to spend money. So now you have to do
Yeah.
times two the work. So I got comfortable, and then when like reality shook me, it was post COVID, and then I was like, for the first time, I had to close down my business. I'm like, you know what? I told all
Wow.
my staff, go home, everyone go home. I can't do this. And then like something happened to me that has never happened to me before. I started owing salaries for like 2 months. I didn't have the money to pay. I would usually pay
What?
salaries the 25th to the 27th. Yeah, post COVID, like the dollar rate went really high all of a sudden,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything changed globally. So it was just weird,
Mm.
I had to shut down my business, like not my business entirely, but like the physical store, because I had staff on ground that I had to pay, and my business couldn't keep up with it at that point in time. But that's one thing about life. It comes in there's this thing called the principle of rhythm. Like life is like a pendulum ball. Is that what they call it? Pendulum ball. It swings back and forth with the same like velocity. Sounds so physics like, right? But life is gonna swing you to the left and it's also gonna swing you to the right. You get? So you just have to be ready when that happens. So yeah, that would be the entire routine, I would say. Okay,
Right.
start.
So what you're trying to tell us is we should have the right mentality, write our goals
Mm-hmm.
down and keep it close. Save,
Mm-hmm.
invest, and don't put a cap on it
Mm-hmm.
and don't get too comfortable, right?
Yeah. And I think
Okay.
I should also add that you need to prioritize making meaningful connections in the industry that you find yourself in. That's also very key to getting there faster.
Mm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow. Okay, that's a keeper. So we can both agree that finding and engaging your dream clients can get to 7 figures, right?
Definitely.
Definitely. So I want to just I don't know if you can just help us out. What does it mean to what does the dream client mean? Like what does it mean for me to have a dream client and talk to this dream client of mine?
Okay, so your dream client would be the person that has the exact amount of money to spend on the products you have to offer. Or better yet, let's say this, the dream client will be the person that has the perfect problem for the solution you're offering. I think that's a better explanation. So, because the person has the perfect problem for your solution, the person will
Mm.
be willing to pay the exact amount that you have to offer because they understand the value that you're bringing, the solution that comes with it. So, your dream client is the person that has the
Okay.
exact problem you're trying to solve. Basically, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so what's one thing you feel like every brand should do before going to look for their supposed dream client?
Oh, okay. So, don't make the mistake of trying to figure out what your target audience is. So, even in business school they taught us about target audience. They never spoke or maybe they barely hit on the topic of your ideal client. So an audience is a group. So when you say target audience, an audience is a group. So I say go deeper than that. That's the key to success. Like know the very individuals that make up that group that you want to sell to. So key
Okay.
tips here would be, working with deeper metrics than
Mm.
just age, sex, location. That's usually the metrics that
Mm.
most entrepreneurs work with when it comes to working with your target audience or dream client or whatever. So go deeper than that. You need to figure things like the habits of your prospective clients. Or not, is the person a smoker? Is the person a party person? Is this the person that is family oriented? You need to figure those things out because those things will actually help you do better in terms of marketing. So say for example, I'm trying to sell something to a mom. So let's say it's a basic product, right? This is just a random example off the top of my head. So let's say it's a basic product like something that helps you cut um your vegetables. So let's say she's a wife, she's a mom. You're trying to sell, this nicer dicer equipment they sell. It helps you chop up your veggies really fast and in like way more speed than you would when you're using a chopping board and a knife, right? So, but this person is a mom. You figured out that okay, the person who's going to be cooking and using equipments like this are people who probably stay at home, or maybe not stay at home, but the person is a mom. So now the person has a baby to take care of. Now, if you understand that one lifestyle aspect of that person,
Okay.
you will understand that the person has a challenge there. So let me just give you an example of what if I were to run an ad for something like that, like an equipment that helps you chop vegetables faster or whatever, and I'm trying to target moms now because you've done the deep work and you figured out that okay, this person is probably a stay-at-home mom or a working class mom, it doesn't matter. But the point is the person is a mom, meaning the person has a young child that's dependent on them for everything, right? But what's your business with that? Because you're just trying to sell something that helps you chop your vegetables faster. So here is an ad that if I were to sell that kind of product, this is an ad that I would put out. So I would want to make a video of a regular woman in her regular kitchen slicing up vegetables with a chopping board and a regular knife, right? So make a video of that. But while she's dicing the vegetables, I want her baby to be in the background crying because she's trying to chop vegetables. But she has a baby she has to take care of. And this baby is probably feeding right now, or the baby is, just uncomfortable. You know how babies get, all they do is cry. They're happy. Okay, when they're happy, they don't cry, but they're hungry, they cry. Diapers are full, they cry. Feel hot, they cry. So the baby's crying for whatever reason, right? And now she has to stop the vegetable. She wants to pick up the baby, but she remembers that, oh, she was just slicing pepper with her bare hands. So she has to go wash her hands now, you see. So the baby's still crying. She's like, I'm coming, I'm coming. She's trying to, just pacify the situation and work really fast. But then she carries the
Yeah.
baby and then puts the baby back down or whatever. But so that's one scene, right? The next scene will probably be while she's exhausted at this point, right? Because now she has to switch between slicing vegetables and attending to the baby or whatever.
Okay.
But let's say just maybe a thought or her friend texts her or she just scrolls through the phone or she sees the nicer dicer ad. So here's another clip showing on her TV screen while she's trying to calm her baby down, and it just talk about how it helps you cut your vegetables faster, 50% less time spent doing that. It's
Mm.
neat, you don't have to use your hands to touch the veggies, the dicer does everything for you, and da 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 da.
Mm.
And then she's
Nice.
like, oh wow, so she orders from whatever website, deliver it to her doorstep. Now she takes it to the kitchen and she starts using it. Maybe this is another day, right?
Yeah.
She's changed clothes or whatever because we're trying to be realistic. So now she's in the kitchen and she's chopping the vegetables. And the baby is crying. But here's the deal. Now she's not touching the pepper directly, right? She doesn't have to touch the
Yeah.
chili. Now she just goes to the baby's room or maybe in the living room where the baby is playing or whatever, picks up the baby and the baby is even on her waist. Or the
Mm.
baby is on a high chair where she can
Okay.
feed the baby snacks, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time, she's using the other hand to just slice it. But then there's no mess. She can do both things at the same time. The baby is
Mm.
happy. The vegetables are getting sliced real. That alone puts out a message to not even to moms, but to any other person that would be like, oh wow, this is so convenient. You see, because what you're trying to sell is not just a nicer dicer, it's a more convenient way to buy your vegetable. That's the main thing. That's the solution you're offering. So I feel like one of the major problems entrepreneurs actually have is they don't even know what they're offering. What's the solution? What's something? And people feel
Mm.
like, oh, this thing is it's not a really big deal. It's nothing crazy. It's not some
Mm.
Fortune 500 ideas. How am I going to market it?
Yeah.
It's not just to post the pictures and just no, you need to learn how to play the game right. So you want to tease people mentally and let them understand this is the value.
Mm.
If you can't do that, there's no point. There's no difference between you and the woman in Balogu market sitting down under the sun every single day trying to trying to, make ends meet. Do you get my point? So yeah. So make sure you go deeper and get more information. You want to get, of course, the age, the location. And when I say location, we're not talking about the geographical location. That's important, geographically. But what's more important is the virtual location, because you're selling online most of the time. And even if you're not selling online, you have a physical store, but you also need to have an online presence. So you need to know the virtual location. Like, okay, the
Mm,
mom who has a baby, find her on
yeah.
TikTok, most likely not. But on WhatsApp, she could be on Telegram, she could be on Facebook, definitely. So you want to try to figure out what is the virtual location of your client. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, do that. Figure out their habits, figure out their routine, because in those little things, you would find out amazing ideas on how to market your products. So create or build the persona and then duplicate that persona into your business. That's how you figure out your ideal client. And then a group of your ideal clients comes together to make your target audience. Now, those are the people you're targeting, because you're a group now. You call them an audience, not really one ideal client or one dream client. You get my point? So group your
Okay.
ideal people together and then make it your target audience so you know how to market to them. So yeah.
Okay, so if I'm getting it right, knowing actually what the solution that your business offers or your brand offers before trying to go and search for your dream client one,
Mhm.
right? In using this woman as an example now, who is the brand target on the vegetable dicer slicer?
Well, your target audience could have multiple personas in it. It doesn't have to be one person. So the person selling in the nicer dicer is not only selling to a mom. So the mom is just one person. So when you're thinking about the people that exist in your target audience, you start asking yourself, oh, okay, you want to figure out who else can you market to. I'm not going to give you my easy tool to fix it, because there's something I teach my students basically. If you just know this one thing, this key metric, you'll be able to know who you're selling to. So
Okay.
you got to figure out who else needs a nicer dicer besides a mom. So you ask yourself, do you want to sell it to students? Or you say, oh, I don't want
A
to sell
mom.
it to students because it's kind of
Okay.
expensive, and I don't want to have to bring down my price because I'm selling to students. Because that, students, the purchasing power is not as high as someone who's working class. So you just got to figure out, okay, who else needs this product, and create do the same thing that we did for the woman who has a baby. So you're figuring out, oh, she's a mom. This is probably what her lifestyle is like. She's probably stressed from all the multiple things she has to do as a mom, right? So you figure out what the challenges of the other people are, So yes, so in your target audience, this is very key. You can actually have up to 5 personas. So we call them avatars. So your ideal client. So you can have avatar one, avatar two, avatar three. So the avatars point out different people in different stages of life that exist within your audience. So all of that grouped together, your target audience, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Make perfect sense. For instance, if this brand
Mhm.
comes to you and be like, I want a billboard in Lagos, right? For this brand, would you use the target audience to reach out, or you use a particular persona to reach out to a particular group of people, a
Okay,
particular person,
so for every
as
marketing
per se?
campaign, you have to have a goal, right? You need to know who you're targeting. So if you know you already have more than one persona in your audience, you cannot market to all of them on the same level because they're thinking from different perspectives. The challenges are not the same. So let's say you wanted to put the billboard now in a busy place like a marketplace or wherever people conduct business. You would figure out, okay, this one now is for the market people. So you could do that. So that's why you see some brands, they run multiple ads on the same product. They're just trying to sell one product. They have different,
Yeah,
it's just like Airtel.
yeah,
Airtel is a very good example, the network, right? So that mobile network company, they have different videos because they know they're trying to target different people. They have that tell you how with their network it's easier to do business because your network is stable and you can have your online meetings and you don't have to stress and you guys can send your files to each other in the office. Then they have another one for women who love to party and go to Owambe. You get that? Then I have another one for people who are working or family, like something that has to be intimacy, husband and wife, or Valentine's, like lovers or something, because they know that their target audience consists of just different personas. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you have a broad range of clients you need to serve. You have to serve them on different levels. You can't use one generic ad. Most like you can use it, of course, but it's not really gonna
Mm,
give you the result you're looking for, as opposed to actually making different ads or different campaigns for
yeah.
different segments of your audience. So if you want to attract all those people you've identified that need your products, then you definitely need to use different approaches. Like I've said this on my business page before, that seven figure chick, right? So I've said when you're trying to bring value to a rich man who flies a private jet, you cannot reach him the same way you will reach the man who is homeless and is sleeping under the bridge. That man under the bridge, or the only thing he's concerned about right now is having a roof over his head and how to become financially independent so he doesn't have to beg money. That's if
Yeah.
he's thinking right. Those should be his goals, right? But the person who flies a private jet to wherever location I want to go to, it's not bothered about a roof. Of course, he has a roof over his head. Either personally
Mm,
built or rented, it doesn't matter, right? Most likely it will be personal, like he owns the building, because for you to own a private jet, you should have a building or two to your name, right? So that person is more concerned about how to insure his properties. So if you come to that person telling them, "Oh, we can make you rich," the person will just laugh and scoff at you, like, "What do you mean by we can make you rich? Come here, let me teach you how to make money, and let me make you rich."
yeah.
That's not value to them. So value is very specific to the person you're trying to bring it to. Do you get my point?
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
I get your point. So when you were talking about the fact that okay, students not being able to for a good purchasing power to get a particular brand
Mm-hmm.
or uh say the vegetable dicer, right? So the question I want to ask is how does pricing affect getting your dream clients? In the sense that wait, let me try explain or getting deeper into this question. I mean how does pricing affect your dream clients? I'm talking about you on the sense of you pricing yourself. Let me use a
Okay.
luxurious brand. So there are people who are interested in luxury, right? People that who are actually interested in luxury. How does you mean pricing myself low or high or overpricing on the pricing? How does it affect getting this my dream clients? If I'm trying to target a luxurious
So
brand,
as a luxury brand, your ideal client will not involve anyone that's broke, because you have to do the math. You have to figure out the purchasing power of your dream client. Like we said, like this person is your dream client. The person has the exact amount of money to spend. That's why it's called a dream client. Like you guys fit, there's compatibility. So you do not want to stress yourself.
yeah,
You can't target everyone. If you are shooting at random targets, like different targets, you probably not hit anyone. But if you have one straight
mm,
focus or two straight focuses, I would say one. Let's call it one, because it's one group of target audience, right? You can have different personas, but the point is they all have the same problem. That's what makes them a group. They have a common problem.
yeah,
And you decide. So let's say designer handbags. Of course, you have ASOS, River Island, you have even China bags. They know who they're targeting. They're not
yeah,
necessarily targeting high end clients, right? But you have people like Off White, Balenciaga, and all these other brands, and they know who they're targeting. You would never hear or see an ad by Louis Vuitton that is um engineered towards a broke person. You can't afford it. So you're not in my list of people that I'm trying to even draw. Yeah, that's why you see people
mm,
now that do not belong to that segment do scam and everything, or work really hard just to get their hands on that product. So what other people have to do now is come up to your level, because you set a standard. This is the bar. You're not going below this. So you either
mm,
don't belong or work your ass off to get to the level that gives you that value. So there are things like, you see people who don't have 5, 10K in their accounts, but they're dreaming and aspiring to own a Mercedes. Did you see that? Yeah, they're not going to pray. They're not going to pray for Mercedes to bring down the price. They won't, because if Mercedes brings down the price, the value of a Mercedes will diminish. There's no
yeah,
point.
mm,
This
mm.
becomes like a Passat. Why do I need what's that? Do you get my point?
I get your
Or
point. I
like
get
a
your point.
random dead ass car. Yeah. So those people, it's not your business. That's not you. So what you do is, that's one thing. When people set their goals, or they're trying to build their business from scratch, they set too small a goal for themselves, because if you're like, if I charge it at this price, then nobody will buy. And then because you say it, that's what will happen. Because you actually don't believe that the clients that will pay that price exist. And let me tell you, they do.
Yeah.
The day you decide to start charging in dollars while you're in Nigeria,
Yeah.
you will find people that are only interested in paying in dollars. We have so many expatriates here. They have raw cash in foreign currency with them in their houses. Those are the only people that will come to you and other, high-end Nigerian citizens.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Yeah, I get
So
your point.
basically, that's not your business.
Okay.
That's not your business. Set the bar for yourself and just do what you deep down inside really want. All you got to do is really back it up with the belief, because if you don't actually believe that those people exist, you'll never draw them,
Mm.
because you'll never be able to think about this that would draw them to you, because
Mm.
in your head you don't exist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some purchasing barriers that could stop people from prospects from patronizing a brand?
Okay. I mean, with purchasing barriers, it could be a myriad of things. It's a very long list, but I think the most common ones would be lack of trust. Like people feel like, I'm not sure you would deliver on your promise, that kind of thing. And the only way to combat that is use of social proof, and you making your business as human as possible. So if people feel like, oh, there's no face behind this, or we don't actually know, they could be sending pictures off of another person's page.
Mm.
How do I know this is not scam? You want to put yourself out there. If not you, your team.
Mm.
Get somebody to stand out as the face of your brand. Make it human. Try to, speak on the things they're going through. And they're like, oh my God, this person just gets me.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to support her. I just like the style. I just like how she talks. I just like how she presents this issue. I feel like she gets me. And now that takes away lack of trust. And they're like, okay, even if it doesn't take it away 100%, it would take it away enough for them to want to give you a try.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
okay, let me just try them one more for the first time. Some clients will be in the DM, and I get this a lot, like, I just want to try, please, don't break my heart. Oh. If you are able to deliver this one,
I'll give you that
I'll
one.
come back. Me, I will stop buying this. People like that, right?
Yeah, I've met
So
them.
you've done, when you hear things like that in your DM or over the phone, you just know that, okay, you're doing something right, because you're breaking down that barrier of no trust, right? So that's usually the first one. Use
Yeah.
social proof, like pictures and screenshots of other people testifying to how good your products are.
Mm.
Put that online as much as possible. If for me, I try to not hide the handles. Like if I'm posting on social media, I put their handles so people can actually message them. And I've had this happen to me a lot. A client messaging me and say, some of your customers came to my DM to ask me if it's real, or if what I bought from you was actually good. And I
I've done
told
that thing
them, like,
before, to be honest. I went to someone's DM
uh-huh.
to actually like,
So you see,
is this person legit?
exactly, like you followed them,
Yeah.
they posted you one time, are you sure? So things like that happen. And then if you're actually doing a good job of providing the right services or the right products,
Mm.
definitely your own products will speak for themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't need to do too much. Yeah, so that's one barrier. Another barrier is probably like competition, existing in a field where there are other players, like multiple people are selling the same products or the same services. I feel like, the only thing you can do here to combat that is using your USP. So that's your unique selling point. Everyone else does it, no problem. But what are you bringing different to the table? It doesn't matter if 1,000,001 people have done it before. If you can bring something new, something fresh, a different perspective to the table, people are gonna come for it.
Yeah.
All you need to do is spark interest.
Mm.
You know what? Go against the bias. Go against the bias. Just up, scatter the whole system. You can be a disruptor in the market. Like, when everyone else does something. So I did this thing actually in my business.
Mm.
One of my businesses, the hair one. So there was a time when I didn't even know that this strategy was what I was doing. So this thing just came to me naturally. And I just realized, based on conversations with people, like customers in the DM, I just heard them say crazy things that are actually myths. Like, this is not real. So one day I just started talking about everything. I'm like, oh, I know you hear everyone say this, but here's the real deal. This is what the people who actually produce this product from the factory say about this. This is not real. This is just a marketing technique. And if you're going to buy from me, I want you to know that, so you do not come with crazy, unrealistic
Yeah.
expectations in the DM. was able to break down like so many myths, and people were just like, "Oh wow!" And that placed me automatically in the leaders circle. So they're like, "Ah, this person has to know a lot. This is a professional. This person knows a lot." So you want to be a thought leader in your circle. You can be a disruptor. Use your USP.
Mm.
What's unique about your products? What's different? It could be your packaging. It
Mm.
could be the way you. So there's this company that I'm looking to patronize like very very recently. I started thinking about them, and so what they sell is just like female well-being drugs
Mm.
and tools and stuff. You get what I mean? So like things that can help you balance your pH as a lady, things that can help you that help with fertility, like just things women need, like for our internal
The,
female ecosystem, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I use Well Woman. So it's like a probiotic for women, female health, your pH, energy levels, right level of estrogen, right level of the other thing.
Okay.
So I use Well Woman, and that's because my friend recommended it. So I started buying it. And it's quite pricey because it's imported, but that wasn't even the problem. So one day I heard about this other product that's like a replacement for that, and it's actually less complicated than Well Woman. You don't have to take it every day. Well Woman, you have to take one every single day for 30 days, and it's just enough for 30 days, so you have to buy it every month. But this one, it just does the work. You don't need to do too much. You only use it when necessary, when you feel like something is off.
Okay.
And no, I picked an interest in that straight up. I was like, oh, okay, let me give this a shot. And I gave it a shot, but I wasn't sure. So I bought a really, really small amount of it. And then when I tried it and I saw like how it made me feel really, really good, I thought, oh, okay, this is the truth. Now, I actually messaged the lady back to say, you know what, I actually didn't have any problems, but for me to feel good about your product, like I didn't have any challenges. It's just because I was looking for something to replace my Raw Woman
Mm.
supplements. But the fact is, I didn't have a challenge, but your products actually even made me better, like made my body better without even any challenge. So I can imagine like what would have happened if I'd been using this when I probably had challenges. Like,
Yeah.
so just from there, I'm coming back and I'm buying the bigger pack of it. And she's like, oh, awesome. Thank you so much for this review. Da, 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 da. Now, just before I made that payment, someone else, I just came across this other page, and the only difference and the only thing that attracted me to this page is just the packaging.
What?
Everything is pink.
Oh God.
Everything is pink, and and the names of the products, so they make it sound like food.
Oh
Something
God.
that could be a drug, probably called gummies or candy. It was just cool. I don't know, like it just intrigued me. And
Oh
they
right.
had like some extra tools now. So here's another unique selling point for them. They had extra tools that no one else actually has. So this person has obviously done their research and the groundwork. So that intrigued me. I'm like, oh wow, wow, okay, 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 okay. I even had to comment on your page one time. I'm like, you know what? If not for anything, just the way you present your brand, I must buy. They're like, oh my god, thank you so much. I can't wait for when you actually place your order. Da, 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 da. But honestly, I haven't placed an order yet. But I just placed another order with another brand, and the reason why I placed an order with them is because it was actually cheaper. I was getting more quantity for the price.
Okay, that's not the one
But
that you
I feel
take
like
once in a while. Is that the one you take once in a
it's the
while?
same one. I think like once in a while, yeah, but it's cheaper from these people. It's like maybe 30% cheaper.
Oh my
And the so that's
guys,
another. You see
this
how
this
they're
person
giving
I'm talking
people.
to is really an Igbo woman. So what? Yes, I'm just.
Honestly, what did we say about budgeting? And you can't just spend your business money anyhow.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
Oh, you have to see. You have to get her right. She wants it beautiful. She wants it plenty, not complicated and
For
cheap. If you can give her that
I
for,
swear,
she's your loyal customer.
for for life. That's what I'm talking about. For life.
Wow.
So I will actually still go back to buy the other pretty looking one
And
just for
just
the sake of
try.
having it because
It's just
it's
beautiful.
just so pretty. Yeah, but I probably won't buy it more than once. That's the thing. Because for me, when it comes to certain, I love to save money. Like I love to cut down on costs.
Mm.
Let me say that we're not like really save. Invest, don't save. Saving isn't really, really the big deal. The big bucks come in when you invest. But when it comes to like spending money on myself, I love to save costs as much as possible. So that's the thing. So if someone was building a buyer persona for me, they would say, "Oh, someone who loves to save money on
Mm,
things."
mm.
It's like my favorite boutique to shop from. On an average day, like an average price of a piece of item in your store is like 45, 50, 60K. So
Okay.
if you're going there, if you're not holding at least 50,000 naira, you can't even buy anything. So
Wow.
that's for like one dress, right? And if I want to go out, I want to make a statement, maybe for a date or an occasion, that's the only place I'm shopping from, right? Now, Black Friday is coming this Friday, right? And guess what? For 8 hours only, they're doing a sale where everything is 10,000 naira. And I already set a reminder. I told my best friend about it. I bought four in my flat today to make sure that on Friday, I was talking to my friend, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be there by 7 a.m. I'll help them open the store.
Oh my goodness.
Because these are things I buy for 50, 60K, 45. The minimum is 45,000 if it's too cheap. And you're telling me that one is going to be 10K and I will not be there? That's a lie.
But wait,
I'll be there.
wait first. Let me just ask you a question. Don't you just have that
Mhm.
small feeling in you that the clothes that's going to be on showcase that day are the ones that have probably been in the storeroom for a while and they've not been able to sell? And then they will take the very
Yeah,
expensive one
about
inside.
that. No, of course, it's strategy, but that's the thing about us humans. When we're emotional about something, we don't think things through. We don't think things through until after the action. So you see how she's gotten me because the thought has actually crossed my mind. I'm like, what if they don't bring out their best stuff that day? What if they
Yeah.
not bring out like old stuff? Like we know what is worth the try. I might still see one or two things that I like
Mm.
and buy.
Makes
And
sense.
she knows because of the kind of taste she's built with her clientele, she knows what we would like. So she
Mm.
cannot just bring out only old stuff. She won't make any sale because we know what we buy on a normal day. It would feel like a scam.
Yeah.
It's a strategy, but I'm sure she will not put out her latest stock, and I'm
Yeah.
sure she will not put out ones that she's going to run at a loss
Yeah,
for.
definitely.
So she will probably put out nice things. She'll probably even maybe just bought extra products just for this Black Friday sale because she's
Mm.
doing it for only one day. The
Yeah.
products are probably not that much, whatever it is. But that's the thing, you already know that your customers are people that it might not be all your customers. There's some customers that if it's cheap, they feel like it's fake, they don't want it. But
Mm.
like I said, your target audience will have a good combination of different people with different unique tastes.
Yeah.
We're not exactly in the same stage of life. You
Mm.
know that you have clients that love expensive stuff, but you also know that in that mix, I have clients that will also not, they can spend expensive money on something,
Mm.
like they can buy an expensive item, but they don't mind actually saving
Saving. Yeah.
money. Yes, I fall into that category. I can buy something that's pricey if I like it.
Mm.
But if you actually give me a good bargain, I'm gonna go down. Of course, like I still go to the market to buy stuff. Like, are you joking? You joking? It's not everything you buy from people now.
Definitely. As a Lagos girl that you are, no, 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 you can't put your hand here now.
Weird.
Okay, but there's this
So yeah.
one purchasing barrier that I got from you last month, so that I even commented that I'm going to fix this right now, which was
Okay.
something about giving your audience or your market too many options to choose from you, like too many services, too many
Oh
links,
right.
too many types of products, that kind of thing. So can you talk a bit about that?
Uh-huh. Okay, so that particular thing comes in when most likely in services. So people get confused when there's too much options. So people are like they get indecisive real quick, especially if the prices are not really matching. So if you're putting different options, like so let's say you actually have just one service, but that one service you have different packages. So let's say you do home cleaning services for people, right? People who are busy, they can't clean their homes themselves. So you have a you have different packages. It's just one service. We're gonna come in and clean your house. That's one option, right? Then I say from that one option, that one service I have to put out, I have three different packages. We can do once a week, we can do 7 days a week, we can do three times a week.
Mm.
So each of these three different options obviously come at different costs. So that's different. So I would choose the one within my budget.
Yeah.
But when you now say, you know what, we clean your house, we do interior design,
We book
because
tickets.
now we're talking about home. We can help you rent out your house for an Airbnb.
Oh
We
boy.
can help you we sell duvets. Like you're confusing me.
Yes.
You know what? I'll be like, okay, that's cool. That's good to know. That's probably the highest action I'll take with it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you're saying these things, There's nothing that's really sticking. Which one are you best at?
Mm.
Which one do you perform the most at? So give me that one.
Yeah.
Because I have needs for all these things, but here's the thing: I probably already have plugs for all these other things. So I'm looking for a better option, something that would do better for me. So what are you bringing to the table, and which one exactly do you want to push? Because, like I said, when you're trying to target too many things at the same time, you probably not catch anything. If you go
Mm.
hunting and you say, "Oh, I want to get a rabbit, I want to get a lion, I want to also catch a snake, now maybe a goat," right? All of them could be passing by at the same time. You can't kill all of them at the same time. When you're trying to kill the snake, the lion can eat you.
Mm.
You know, when you're trying to catch the rabbits, the goats might run away. So it's better when today you say, okay, today is just for rabbits.
Mm.
Tomorrow is for goats. So that's what
Yeah.
I meant by defining yourself. Don't give too many options.
Even as a
Pick
personal
the
brand,
best one.
please don't.
Fine. Yes, most of the time when you see people put out too many options, it's because they themselves, as the business owners, as the guru behind the scene, they're confused. They don't really know. So you gotta figure out, what can I really do? What do I really do? What do I love to do? Which one of these services makes me come alive? That's the service you should put out
Yeah.
in front
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah.
Amplify that one.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you so much. Before I ask you the last question, is there any other purchasing barrier that you haven't mentioned?
Okay, price is one,
Okay.
but that's basically like if you're not showing the value,
Yeah.
then yeah, people are gonna argue the price. Like, oh, you're showing me something for 10K, but I feel like it's worth 5K. You're not really gonna get lots of clients from that.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that I should probably speak on the first time on this your podcast, I've never said this to my own clients before, is bad reviews. Like, how do you deal with bad reviews? So let's say you've been popular or you've been doing well for a while, but then you get one client who's like a client from hell, and your client goes on social media and pays blogs to pull down your name or
Wow.
whatever. These things happen,
Yeah.
right? So that could be a purchasing barrier, because people are like, oh, it's not that brand that they scammed one babe of
Yeah. Yeah.
10
Yeah.
millionaire. I bet. So now, what do you do? Just my solution to that would be real. Okay, be real. Offer an apology. Just say, okay, this is what happened, and this is where we made an error. Be real. Be a human being,
So you
because
mean
they
that
know it's not a
even if
computer.
it's a troll, you mean they should head on, like they should take it head on and actually come out and make a statement, whether it's a troll or something, whether it's a lie.
I'm telling you, you'll be so surprised how that will actually help people say, you know what, we're all humans. All of a sudden, people will
Mm.
change and be like, we're all humans. Somebody's above mistake. She has come out. She said she's sorry. She has refunded to the client, and da. She has explained why this
Mm.
happened. So if she can come out, it means she's an honest person and
Yeah.
she's safe to do business with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
helps the image. Or
Mm.
now there are clients from hell who would actually tell lies, right?
Mm.
About your brand and say things that didn't happen. If that's the case of the bio review, you need to change the narrative.
Mm.
Change the narrative and let people know exactly what happened and flip it on the person. I tell you this, like flip the script on the person's head and be like, oh, if you did this, then why do I have proof against what you're saying? Why
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
have, do you
Yeah.
know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Stand for yourself, be strong, and say your
Mm.
value points, and then cement it with value and say, this is the reason why our products are better. This is why I always say you have to use this product 7 times a week before you can actually see results,
Yeah.
or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you didn't go through the instructions, if you didn't follow the instructions, then that's why you're
You
getting what
understand
you're
what I'm trying
getting.
to say?
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a
Add
lot of sense.
or cement whatever your narrative is with the value. And if it was wrong, I mean, if you actually made a mistake, make up for your mistakes visibly. Make up for your mistakes. If you
Visibly.
actually made one,
Yeah.
visibly, put it in front of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Post the screenshot of the money you sent back.
Mm.
Post the conversations. Post whatever it is to let people know that I'm real. I
Mm.
make mistakes. I'm a human being, but this is how I'm gonna make up for it. So
Yeah.
it's like what Kanye West is going through right now. If he's able to actually come out
Mm.
and own up to it, there are people who will show him mercy,
Kanye
forgiveness,
West.
and grace.
Kanye West is not doing any of that. He's just going to go for
No,
the
no, no,
ride.
no, no. And I like that. I like that about him.
Kanye
I like
will
that.
not
It's
do
probably what I would do.
anything. That's what I'm like.
It's
Some
probably what
people,
I would
there are a
do.
lot of brands that get hit with this thing and they literally just don't say anything. I don't know why. I don't know
It's
what
not.
the
It's
goal
not
is
being
because
good.
most people just feel that since it's in the media, it's going to die down. And then they'll bring out one campaign or one
Nah.
thing that will just hide the matter. But then I'm just saying, but Some personal brands
Dies
like can
down,
you
but that's thing.
are not apologetic at all.
Yeah,
But then you have to be
yeah.
that big, Sha.
That
You have
thing
to
will
be that
never
big.
be on your
So
brand.
don't
So
go and do that one if
yeah.
you're an upcoming brand. Anyway, Trey, thank you so much. The last question I have for you, which you've answered a bit, but I wanted to know if there is a particular way to go about it. Is what are the top strategies that every brand can use to get their dream recurring client? You're like, we have to actually know our offer and the solution we're bringing to the market. But the question now is, how can I find these clients, right? And keep them to keep coming back. That, yeah.
Okay. So basically, like customer acquisition,
Mm,
right? So, like once you have your ideal client or your ideal clients, your dream clients figured out, you'll find out that customers come rushing to you. That's just the truth because you're doing everything right. You're speaking the right language. You're speaking um the right language to understand. Basically, you're using the right mood boards, the right text, the right marketing messages, whatever. Right. So the first step in your strategy should be identifying your ideal clients. Then you want to set up a system that brings clients in, and remember, you always have cold and hot clients, right? So cold clients are the ones that really don't care too much about what you have to say. They can do without seeing your page or following you. You have hot clients that feel like, I want it. Oh my God, this is it for me. I want it right now. So those are hot clients. So you set up a system that brings in both cold and hot clients, and then lead them into, so it's basically called a funnel. You want to lead them into it and lead them up to the point where they make a purchase, and then make them re-enter your funnel again. So if they come in from the beginning part and they're getting to know more about your brand, a lot of the work you have to do between the coming in stage and the purchasing stage is sharing information and bringing value. That's just the trick in between those 2 points.
okay.
So you share more information about what you have to offer, you bring in value as much as you can, and communicate that value to your ideal clients. You will move on to the end of the funnel, right? Now, when they come out of the end, at the other end, and they've made a purchase, you made a profit, you don't want them to just leave. You want to try to make them re-enter your funnel again. And you can do that by using amazing offers that speak on their problems and the solutions you have to offer. Always go over and beyond for your clients in your offers, or make it seem like you are going over and beyond, just like the boutique I talked about.
Yeah.
So for her, to us, it's like, how can you be selling something for 10K that you would usually sell for 45, 50, 60K?
Yeah.
So I know she has a strategy. She's not going to make any loss. If she was making a loss, she wouldn't sell it at that price.
Mm. Or she probably is
So
just so
she's
generous that she has gotten you guys money so much throughout the year and then she wants to give back. Could be
the
that
point is there's actually a strategy behind it,
behind it,
and
yeah.
she's not going to lose money. Do you get
Okay.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? So definitely you can make it seem like you're doing a lot for us,
Mm.
like you're going over and beyond.
Okay.
People will be grateful for stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna be grateful after I shop there on Friday.
Yeah. Just
So
give that extra
customers,
push, that extra customer experience.
exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. Always go over and beyond. Whatever. Just think about how can I make, so like this is an example for whatever entrepreneur is listening to this. My nail tech the other day, because she knows I import things from overseas, right? So she was like, oh, what can she get for her clients? Her clients that have stopped coming because with the flood and the rain happening, lots of clients stopped coming to her store. She's my nail tech. She does my nails, right?
Mm.
So she was just talking to me like, oh, what can she do? That she needs to remind these people that she's still here. So she says, okay, she wants to order some stuff. Can I help her do that? I said, okay, sure. What does she want to offer? I mean, order, sorry. So she starts mentioning a couple of things. So I go over to like my list of options for her. And then she sees like pretty handbags. And she's like, Mama, I'm gonna have to buy this handbag from my best clients, the clients that patronize me throughout the year. I'm just going to post it that once you come to my store, oh, you are going to get a handbag for Christmas. And these handbags are really, really nice. I'm like,
Mm.
they're quite pricey. She was like, "Yeah, she's not gonna that one's not for everybody. Some people she will buy lashes for them, some people she will buy this, some people
Yeah,
she will
just
buy
like that.
that." I'm like,
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
exactly. So customers like to always come first.
Mm.
So you always want to keep them, take them from the beginning to the end of the funnel, get them to re-enter, and make sure that they feel like they're coming first. And that's the key in acquiring them.
Wow.
Use lots of social proof. and make the solution real to people, just like the nicer dicer illustration I gave.
Yeah.
Make it as real as possible. Don't try to say, oh, people will understand what this thing is for now. Don't they know the usefulness?
Mm.
They don't. Go and take a cue from Chinese marketers. Have you seen anybody Chinese people market their products?
Yeah, you've
You
posted
want to
one.
leave the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good. Asians are so good. So those kind of, it's something as simple as maybe a doormat,
Yeah.
and they just try to duplicate the lifestyle of somebody
Who
who
uses the
uses a doormat.
doormat?
But it
Yeah,
will be so
funny.
interesting. You'll be so taken away, and you're like, oh wow, this is nice. So let
Mm.
me send this to my friend that we wanted to buy doormats the other day.
Mm.
That's how the process begins. Now the person or their friend will enter into your funnel, and before you know, if they're a hot client and they're ready to purchase right now, you're making money in the bank.
Wow.
So you're getting money in the bank.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that's just
This, God, I don't know. Oh boy, I'm overwhelmed. This is too much. I for one will have to go through and listen to this again. Just keep listening to it and listening to it and listening to it because
Sarah. I hope you're not trying to be shady because you
I
haven't booked a
am not.
session with me. So
Mm-mm.
this is a
Mm-mm. I
you
am
just got
not.
like free info.
This,
I'm going to send you my bill.
this is too much. This is too much value on a platter. God, I am
I'm
so.
so happy to be of service.
Oh God, I'm so this is just too much. Like you guys, tell me just if I write in my comment, is there you not going to listen to this thing again? Like this, this is too much. Okay, so I went through your academy, Don't Figo Chica Academy. There's one question I've been meaning to ask. Both the
Mhm.
both male and female listen to this podcast, right? Is this academy just for females or it's for both genders? Because I'm just
It's for all
it's
genders.
for
If
all
you
genders, right?
identify as a gay, you identify as a transgender, it doesn't matter. I don't know. Somehow, I feel because it's female led, more
Yeah.
females are drawn to it.
Okay.
Definitely have men, but I just feel like men don't usually take it seriously. A few
Mm.
of them that do are always in my game, like, oh wow, this was so impactful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And you're usually very professional about it. So, but I feel like maybe because it's female led, women are just more drawn to it. I don't know what to do. I've been trying to hack that for a while. Like, okay, what can I do to make
Mm.
it heterosexual, like for both male and female?
I think it should start from the naming, but then no problem.
You start from what?
The name, but it's all right.
The name?
Yeah, you're
Ah,
no, your target market.
that's not even possible.
No, it's just like what we talked about. Your target market is yeah, both male and female, but your persona mainly it's the female because they are the ones that mostly go for this thing and stuff like that. So it's understandable. But I trust me with this recording, like I'm not sure anybody that listens to this will not want to get more juice out of this. Like me particularly, I have downloaded some of your free. She has some free resources in her community that I love so much. The Goal Manifest, the Month Starter Workbook, like these things are free to the public, and I use them, and I'm like, God bless Amara.
Thank you so much.
God bless Amara. Like I
Oh,
love them so much.
oh,
I've printed some before. Like oh God, you just give out, give and give
thank you
and
so
give, and
much.
now she wants to send me bill, guys. She wants to send me bill.
Yes, now you can afford it
So
now.
please,
You're a
but
big
there's some
woman.
courses there that you can get to learn more about this. I want you to just talk a bit about that and some courses that are in this seven-figure cheek academy. Yeah, I'm guessing that correctly. So can you just tell us some of the courses that are
Yeah.
there and how we can locate them and go through them?
Okay, so I'm currently working on a course for your ideal client or your dream client personnel, like how to do it yourself, because I have a service that is specifically for that. But in my busy schedule, I don't really have the time to take bookings all the time, as much as I would really love to do that.
Mm,
But if this was like a full time, I didn't have any other thing I was doing, then I would definitely be doing that. So because of the fact that I'm not always that available, I'm trying to create a course where people can just, follow a step-by-step process to create this for themselves, or even begin to teach this to other people,
mm,
So that's one thing. It's gonna be, you would see it on the website. It says ideal client strategy
okay.
course. But if you click on it, it's not going to take you to anything because I haven't attached the link to that. But I have a really amazing course that also covers ideal client strategy plus other things like how to create offers. Like I said, you have cold and hot clients.
Yeah.
The strategy you use for a cold client is not the same strategy you use for a hot client.
Mm.
A hot client is ready to go right now.
Mm.
A cold client is still indecisive. So for the cold client, you want to do more of explaining the value,
Yeah.
sharing information, and all of that. The different strategies. Like it's not about just saying, "Oh ma, this thing is going to benefit your life." No, that's dead
Mm.
and that's boring. And you shouldn't do that. You want to make it irresistible. Like you don't have a choice. It's either this or
Mm.
suffering.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how you
yeah.
make it. You want to make, yeah, like put pressure, but in a very cool and subtle way
Mm.
for to make money. Because there's
Yeah.
so many people calling the same person's attention. You're not the only brand doing that. You will never be the only brand.
Yeah.
There's hardly any monopoly anywhere. So basically, that course covers everything. It's called the 40 million in 6 months course, and it was a course I created when I found out that I had made like 40 million in like 6 months, and it
Wow.
was crazy for me because I was like, oh wow, like I know, right? Wow. So I posted it,
Wow.
it went viral. I know. I had almost like 200K views on that particular video because people are like, how did you do this? Like, okay, can you help me achieve this? Because I posted
Mm.
proof. And I don't like to call figures out because I don't really want eyes on my back
I
per
feel you. I
se.
feel you.
I like, yeah, I'm very out there on my personal social media, but
Okay.
hardly would you see me like posting anything really intimate or private about
Yeah.
myself. You never know about my relationships. You can't even tell if I'm dating or if I'm not dating. So I also
Mm.
don't post like my financial stuff there. But I realized that's something that I probably have to do once in a while to just let people know that the results are in my hands. I'm not just preaching fables and tales,
Yeah.
right? So I posted proof of the amount of money I made, and then people asked me how can I do this, and I couldn't take so many calls at the same time, so I just decided to create a course again. So
Mm.
that course is there, it's available, and actually from Black Friday to probably the end of the year, I'm not sure. My team and I are still trying to go over it if it's going to be worth it. We're going to slash it down by about almost, I think almost 80%, maybe 77% or something. So I'm going to bring the price down because in the current state of the economy, I just want to put it out there to help
Mm.
anyone because that's the main purpose. I don't want price to really scare people away because
Mm.
I'm a one for all for one type of person. Like I want all of us to come up because I mean that you're making money doesn't mean I'm not gonna make money. There's enough money to go around.
Yeah.
There's
I feel
too
you.
much money in the world. You get
Ha!
most of the money in the world.
Open
In
bar,
fact,
Igbo girl.
more than do you realize, Sharon, that more than 50, let's say 70% of the world's money isn't even printed yet?
I know, man.
Because if you want to print all the monies in everybody's bank account and print them out, you know how much storage that would take up?
Mm.
It can't fit into just one bank or one central bank. It's not possible. You can't print that. You can only print out a few. The rest are just figures. So there's
Mm.
enough money to go around. I don't have that idea in my head that, oh, it's just me. I want myself to win. Me, 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 me.
Mm.
So that's the reason why I'm trying to bring down the course. Because I think that course basically takes you from mindset all the way to execution.
Okay.
And it also teaches you how to start whatever it is you want to start, even with zero capital,
Mm.
right? I think that's the key part. Most people do not have the money to fund. Even a business I want to start right now, I don't have the funding for it just yet. So I know this is a general challenge. Even I don't think there's any business that starts off with everything.
Yeah.
There's always a budget to work with.
Mm.
So even if you don't have any money, that course will ginger you and teach you how to go about it because my most successful business, well, all my business are my most successful business in Jesus' name. But like the longest surviving one, which is
Mm.
about to be 7 years old, basically I started it with zero capital.
Mm.
And this is where I'm at. And it has physical locations.
Wow.
So if I can do it, anyone else out there can actually do it. So
Mm.
you can grab that course. You can also grab a free course on the website on how to prepare like a simple business plan, nothing too serious, very straightforward course. You
Yeah.
probably take it in like 10, 15 minutes when you're done. And that's a free course. Yeah, and like she said, there are other materials that are for free. There's an ebook I wrote about pricing and surviving in a competitive market.
Yeah.
You can get that on my website free also. It can also help you.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's that.
So please, that one you were talking about, the first one about the client part, please can you kindly put a wait list so that we can join because we need it. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but please
Uh,
create a form that we can just
okay.
put our name and our email for wait list because we are really interested. When I say we, I said me, anyways. But then that's okay. I don't know why. I don't know why she's slashing the 40 million in 6 months formula cost because it's already low, too low for the price. I don't know why she's slashing it, but
Right.
I don't know. But I'm okay. No problem. We that bought it at the high price, we know. But it's okay. Let's go ahead.
Ah! Oh my God, that's true. You got the course, so you can testify. What do you think about the course?
It was phenomenal. No, what are you kidding? I have not dropped my review. Oh, don't worry. I'll send it to you
I'm not
personally.
sure. You haven't.
I need to send it to
Please
you
do.
personally.
ASAP. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
So please go to sevenfigurechickacademy.com and see, let me tell you the truth. I'm on the website right now and I'm seeing too many resources. I'm seeing even from followers to clients. I'm seeing Q4 success bootcamp.
Yeah.
I'm seeing how to create a business plan,
Yeah.
and then there's the Cove community. See, just click the link in the description and go to the website and then just feel it get a feel of your eyes, and trust me, you will not regret it. Thank you so much for coming in here, Mara. Like, it was a pleasure. I took all your time, but I'm so
Thank you,
I'm so
Sean.
grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me this week. I'll be back next week with more information. So have a great week ahead and God bless you. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Follow if you haven't followed. You can show some love. We want to get to feel your 2 cents. So just drop a review, subscribe to our channel, join the conversation, join the communities. In our community, we talk every day. So even if we come here and talk once in a week, in our community, we talk every day. If you have a question pertaining to branding or business development, you can email us at africanbrandacademy@gmail.com or message us on any of the social media platforms or our social media communities, and I will be able to answer you on the next episode. It could be your question, and even if I'm not able to answer you here directly, I'd make sure to answer you in the communities. And this is Sharon Alfred saying ciao. Take care.